and good afternoon, and welcome to KB Willett Arena in Stevens Point. It is the 2018 Pointer Thanksgiving Classic presented by Ascension. I'm Tom Weaver. Along with me is Sean McMahon. For those of you tuning in from the East Coast or suburban Twin Cities, Minnesota, or all parts beyond and between, we're the broadcast duo for the UW Stevens Point Pointers, the host of the tournament on Sportsfan 100.5. Pointers and Nichols coming up, but Sean, a very intriguing match coming up here this afternoon with Utica and St. Thomas. Both of these teams, I think, looking at this tournament as an opportunity, with Utica at 3-4, St. Thomas at 3-2 to jumpstart their season here before the holiday break.
Yeah, absolutely. The last time St. Thomas actually played, Tommy, was a couple weekends ago here at KB Willett Arena, where the Pointers had a hard-fought 2-1 win over the Tommies in a really good close hockey game. On the other hand, for the Utica Pioneers, they're looking for something good to happen after last Sunday losing to Lebanon Valley 6-1. And questions to be asked, goaltending, all the things. Both teams struggling on the power play. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see the matchups. We understand that Utica wants to get up and go. They want to turn this game into a track meet. As we know with the Tommies, they're going to want to grind this thing down and try to wear out the Utica defense.
So it sounds like a lot of teams looking to find their power plays here this weekend, exactly. As the Pointers have struggled with that as well. Utica comes in. They've lost 2 of their last 3. While St. Thomas back-to-back 2 weekends ago, 2-1 losses to Eau Claire and Stevens Point. And Sean, I know the vision of this tournament started with Chris Brooks a couple of years ago to bring in 2 teams from out east and a very good St. Thomas team with a very good Stevens Point team, ranked number 1 in the country. This the marquee tournament as far as the field goals, I think, in the country.
Yeah, absolutely. I would love to stack this up against any tournament during the holiday season, as 2 really good 2 teams that in Utica, Tommy, missed out on the NCAA playoffs by NCAA tournament by a hair last year, and Nichols, that were 1 goal away from going to the semifinals in the Frozen Four in Lake Placid. St. Thomas won the MIAC regular season title last year, lost to Gustavus Adolphus in overtime in the MIAC semifinals, but they're perennial, kind of right in the thick of it.
Both these teams kind of on the revenge 2018-2019 tour as we get it going. So let's start with our starting lineups here tonight. First of all, for the Pioneers of Utica, they will start Gianluca Baguetta, 5'10", and a junior out of Maple, Ontario. It's start number 4 for him. He's 1-2, a goals against average of 2.27 and a save percentage of 93.8%. The defensemen are Zach Boursoy. Boursoy is a senior, 6'4", out of Brossard, Quebec. And the other defenseman, Justin Allen, 6'2", and a freshman out of Rochester, New York. Up front, the centerman is Jacob Gerson. He is 5'8", and a junior out of Colorado Springs, Colorado. The right wing is Jared Fitzpatrick, 5'8", and a junior out of Wakefield, Massachusetts. And the left wing is Devin Warfield, 5'11", and a junior out of Cary, North Carolina. Gary Heenan, the head coach of the Utica Pioneers, in his 18th season, 248, 164, and 43. He was an assistant at Hamilton and Brockport, played at Hamilton, where he graduated from, played a couple of years in Europe, 5 regular season championships, taking this team in their only NCAA appearance to the Final Four, where they lost to defending national champion Wisconsin Eau Claire in 2013. For the Tommies of St. Thomas, they will start Andrew Rocole in goal. Rocole, we saw him a couple of weeks ago. He's a good one, 5'10", and a senior out of Edina, Minnesota. The defensemen are Ben Jentz, 6'1", and a senior out of Oconomowoc, Wisconsin, and Phil Fromberger, 6'2", and a sophomore out of Verona, Wisconsin. Up front, the centerman is Brett Gravelli, 6'1", and a junior out of Forest Lake, Minnesota. The left wing is Johnny Panvica, 5'9", and a junior out of Bloomington, Minnesota. And the left wing is Jack Christensen, 6'2", and a junior out of Ridgeville, Connecticut. Jeff Besser in his 9th season with the Tommies, 128, 65, and 24. 25 or more years as part of the staff here at St. Thomas, and now our national anthem. We are set to go here, this semifinal game number 1 of the Thanksgiving Classic. Sean, these two teams have met before once, back in 2016, I believe, and it was Utica, a 1-0 win in the Utica Thanksgiving tournament after St. Thomas beat Oswego in the semifinals. Pretty good tournament there, got a 1-0 win there. Jeremy Klobuchar, Adam Shadio, the referees this afternoon. Jason Peters and Tyler Gregory will work the lines. And boy, Sean, I remember when this idea for this tournament first came up about 4 years ago or so, and you know, with the thought of getting some good teams in here, you planned it out that far in advance. All these teams have been ranked at one point amongst the season, and all kind of bring a different style to it. So it should be a great weekend of hockey with 2 games tonight and tomorrow here at Willett Arena. All right, Utica, understand, came in yesterday. St. Thomas as well. Parker Burgess, the head coach, or I should say the head coach of Nichols, a St. Thomas alum.
Yes.
Of course, Nick Beadall, assistant for the Tommies under Jeff Besser, on his home bench, the former Pointer defenseman, back here at Willett Arena. And we are set to go. Tyler Gregory will step to center ice. Jacob Gerson. And Gravelli, and on the near side, Fitzpatrick, a thundering check, and St. Thomas will dump it into the Utica end. Justin Allen with it. He'll lead pass up into the neutral zone. Fromberger back for St. Thomas. D-to-D pass. Gravelli will tip it ahead. This should be an icing call against the Tommies here as they came in and dumped it in. Length of the ice. Icing, always interesting, Sean, when you get East versus West teams, the contrast in styles and things. But
it's on everything too, Tommy. It's the officiating. It's the contrasting in styles. As we look at the East as more skilled and they want to go.
Yep.
They want to pick up the pace, where the West, you know, the big bodies of the West and wanting to make it a heavier game.
All right, off the draw, loose in the St. Thomas end. Half ball on the near side. Little give and go here by Tyler Dill. He'll throw it in back behind the net. They'll chase it far corner. Loose in the far corner. Ben Jentz there for St. Thomas. He's picked up by a defender there. And Brett Gravelli with it. Comes back the other way. Gravelli, lead pass ahead. Utica will jam that one up through the neutral zone and dump it in on Lucas Colross. He'll get it down. Utica came in, Sean. They had an all-conference goaltender a year ago that was injured, had surgery in the offseason. They come back, get into practice, and he opts to sign a pro contract in Europe. So today it's Junlaka Bagetta. He and Sean Dixon have been rotating around here. So that was an area of strength coming into the season that, Coach Heenan and the Pioneers are trying to figure out their way through here the first 8-9 games. Off the draw, held into the point on the far side. Utica will throw it. Matt Christian, for St. Thomas in the far corner. He'll send it ahead, and it's Cullen Willocks with it. Now here's St. Thomas driving in. John Peterson trying to get a backhander in toward the net, loose in the near face-off circle. It's cut off by the Pioneers, and they will force it around the back of their own cage. On the far side, long pass up ahead, little give and go here, and it is Regan Cavanaugh coming in. Cavanaugh backhanded shot off the outside of the net. Cavanaugh, their leading scorer for the Pioneers. Shot block on the far side. Rebound is recovered there by Joey Rutkowski, and it's cleared out into the neutral zone. Big hit on the far side. St. Thomas carries it in. Shot whistled wide into the near corner. St. Thomas will hold it in at the half wall on the near side. Broyden Stufko with it. He'll look to send it deep, but Justin Allen will get it for Utica and sends it out up ahead. Connor Landrigan with it. Landrigan sends it in behind the net, looks to center, nothing there. Two-man game there. St. Thomas defensively forces it to the near corner. Stufko now coming out in, jammed at the red line of the near side by Zach Boursoy, and St. Thomas will gain possession. Trap cross-ice pass to Tucker Bender. Lead pass up ahead. Off the stick of one of the St. Thomas players through the neutral zone. It carries into the far corner. Utica quick in transition to get it. Here's Brett Everson. Everson ahead. Cross-ice pass to Boursoy, and he'll send it deep. And boy, both these teams content here to dump and change here. Now a turnover forced by Utica, but they were off sides in the play, so they'll flip it high, but it goes into the roof, and we'll get a whistle on play. That's going to be a distinct difference here for Utica, Sean. They play at the Utica Odd, home to the AHL Utica Comets, so an American League barn, very much a pro setup here. They'll find this a little more cozy, I would think.
A little bit more closely confined, especially with the roof, Tommy.
Yep. All right, face-off controlled by the Pioneers, and they will dump it in. Brandon Young whistles it around on the far corner. Held in at the point, Allen with it. Justin Allen shoots, fires. Ooh, that whistled through some traffic, but went wide to the near side. Brandon Young back, couldn't hold it off on the near side, so he'll have to retreat back some 165 feet. NHL size for our a little less than NHL size here at KB Willett Arena. And Utica jams it off. Rocol reaches out to make the save. Nothing there. Cleared it. Far corner. St. Thomas will gain possession of it and try to send it back. Here's a turnover force. 2-on-2. Long shot fired by Fitzpatrick. That goes wide. We're going to get a whistle and a penalty call coming up here against St. Thomas. The extra attacker on for the Pioneers here, and it's McManus. He'll fire a shot. Tipped in front. Good save by Rocol. And Sean Utica here going to the net hard with an extra attacker. They will get the first power play of the afternoon.
They will, Tommy, and we'll run the power play numbers. An interference call on St. Thomas. The power play numbers for either team, not so hot. 3 power play goals on 37 chances for the Pioneers, 8.1%. Tommy, that's 10th in the UCHC and 77th overall in the country. The penalty kill numbers for St. Thomas, this has been the bugaboo for the Tommies, 50-21, 71.4%. That's 9th in the MIAC, 71st overall in the country for the PK for St. Thomas.
John, I think the top power play amongst these 4 teams on the weekend is Nichols at 35th.
Yes, so yeah, everyone's struggling with the extra man.
Yeah. All right, so face off to the left side of the goaltender, Andrew Rocol. And St. Thomas on the power play here as they will set it up at the point. 3 across the blue line. Far side, Daniel Fritz feeds it. Half ball in the far side. Shot fired in front. Tried a little give and go. Bounce right back. Backhanded shot. That's jammed off by St. Thomas. They will get it and send back the other way. Ben Jensch is off on the penalty call. An interference call here. 16:15 to go in a scoreless first period. Minute and a half remaining in the Utica power play. St. Thomas quickly busts that up and sends it the length of the ice. Scheduled for tomorrow, of course. 2 winners, 7:30 for the championship game. Consolation game at 3:30. Now far side, Utica a little loose with the puck here. It ends up by the Pioneer blue line on the far side. Well, weave around up ahead. And it is Connor Landrigan with it. Defender falls down. Haskin goes to the front of the net, but it's an offsides call. As boy, oh boy, Sean, Haskin gave it back to the other side. If he keeps that puck, he's waltzing in all alone. Yep. As blowing a tire was Phil Fromberger here on the near side.
Yeah, Fromberger tripped over the blue line, Tommy, big time. Blew a tire, and the Pioneers had the weak side of the ice wide open. And to get the power play set up for the first time. Yep. Just 1:05 left on Utica's first power play of the night.
All right, dumped in. Around it goes, far corner. Utica still trying to set up in the man advantage here. Under a minute to go in the first power play. Christensen will get it. He'll flip it out, short-handed ahead. It is Tanner Barnes after it. Barnes a transfer out of the University of Wisconsin. Haskin at the red line on the near side. He'll carry it in for Utica. Haskin leaves it to Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh tried to get a shot, but nothing there. And it's Rutkowski out high. Top of the far face-off circle, back to Rutkowski at the point. He'll survey it up, far side, one-time shot, glove save made by Rocol, and a very nice save through traffic there.
Yeah, we saw a lot of that a couple Saturdays ago here at Willett Arena. Rocol, one of the better goaltenders in the MIAC and in the West. Nice job going post to post, able to pick that up, puck up through some traffic, and make a good glove save. That glove hand of his is as good as it gets, Tommy.
Yep. Rocol coming in 36th in the country in goals against average and 47th in save percentage. Off the draw, St. Thomas clears it out. Still 23 seconds remaining on the Utica power play as the Pioneers dump it in. Half ball on the far side. It is intercepted by St. Thomas again. Jacob Gerson with it. Gerson ahead. Short-handed. Trap comes in. Fires a shot. Pad save made, but a whistle and an offsides with just 10 seconds remaining here in the power play. A couple of seconds tick off the clock after the whistle.
I don't think anybody noticed, Tom.
No.
Yeah, so just 8 seconds left, and that time the Pioneers got caught, Tommy, through the neutral zone. The turnover, nice job on the forecheck for St. Thomas through the neutral zone to cause that turnover, and it almost got a pretty good shorthanded chance, but just a tick off sides for the Tommies.
Olmshenk wings it back off the glass and in, and Utica. Man advantage comes to an end. St. Thomas back at full strength. Here's Fitzpatrick finding his way through the neutral zone, trying to create a 3-on-2. Instead, dumps long shot in. Rocol with the save, and no rebound again as
And nothing.
Yeah, you said, Sean, good glove. He's very good on his rebound control.
Good job on his rebound controls. Tommy plays that butterfly style to a T, comes out, challenges the shooter that time right at the top of his blue paint, at the top of the crease there, able to cut down that angle. And Utica's got to get a little bit better of a chance there, Tom. A lot of perimeter work so far by the Pioneers.
Face off to the right side. And it is Utica along the half wall on the far side. McManus near side. Shot. That hit a body in front. All kinds of traffic there. It'll come back out between the circles. McManus gets it back again on the near side. He'll send a shot wide of the net. They're trying to throw all kinds of traffic in front of the net here. And so far, St. Thomas has been able to clear things out. Now they'll come back through. And it is Gravelli up. Now it's a Pioneer defenseman that falls down. That almost creates an odd man rush here for Utica, for St. Thomas, excuse me. Tommy's fire a shot. That goes wide. Trying to get to the rebound is Johnny Panvica, but nothing there. Up far side, St. Thomas brings it back, but it comes out of the zone. Ben Jench. Jench will get it to Fromberger. Now in the near side, comes loose, and Panvica reaching for it. He'll come across. Nice sweeping stick check there on the far side. Utica with it. They'll try to carry it in. Back and forth we go through the neutral zone. Finally, it's Christensen that gets possession of it for St. Thomas. He'll send it deep. 13 and a half to go in the first period. We are scoreless. Utica and St. Thomas. Pioneers ahead. Nifty little pass there for Tyler Dill, but ridden off his stick immediately. And it is Yazagiri that will dump it into the near corner. Swings around to the far corner. And Utica now, half wall on the far side. Comes out high. A scrum for it up high in the St. Thomas defensive zone. Utica will send it deep to the far corner. Dill will give chase and try to poke it loose, but St. Thomas very structurally sound here, forcing it. Now beautiful athletic play to sweep it far side. Here comes the shot and a goal. Boy, great play at the blue line. Ends up on the stick of Tyler Dill in the far face-off circle. A diving effort to hold the zone. He's wide open. A low wrist shot along the ice gets through Rokel, and it's 1-0 Utica.
Yeah, that found room in between the 5-hole on Rokel, Tommy, right along the ice. A sneaky little shot, and that gives the Pioneers an early 1-0 lead here at Willett Arena.
Tyler Dill with his 4th goal of the year for the Pioneers, and they strike first. Well, Sean, I was about to say that Utica looked a little on the verge of getting frustrated here with not much success in the early power play, but kept her going, and it is 1-0 Pioneers. St. Thomas off the draw. Alex Trapp plays cross-ice catch. Kavanaugh gets a piece of it, and it's sent in the zone by Utica into the near corner. Kavanaugh after it, can't get to it, up the half wall on the far side. Here's St. Thomas with a 3-on-2 developing. Barnes brings it in near side to Algren. Algren fires a shot. Baguetta has a little trouble, has a little trouble handling it, and then it rattles around in his pads, and he'll get down and cover it up. We'll get a whistle. 12:28 to go here in period number 1. So Tyler Dill from Nick Yazagiri at 7:05 is the Utica goal here. Shot so far 4-1 in favor of Utica. They get it again. Fitzpatrick hands it off to Warfield. He'll send it deep. Rokel will play it off the boards and out. Kicks off the backside of a Pioneer defender on the near side, and that prevented St. Thomas from an odd man rush, and we'll get a whistle and an icing call here. 12-12 to go here in period number 1.
Man, that's going to be Dill's 4th goal of the year as well, Tom.
Yep. Utica a year ago, 21-5-1. They won the regular season and the tournament championship in the UCHC. Had a couple of All-Americans. Led the nation in attendance for the 12th straight year. Averaging a little over 3,300 fans a game.
Wow.
And it came down between them and Stevens Point in the Pool B, and consensus was Stevens Point, by virtue of a win over Adrian, got in the NCAA tournament. Adrian Bulldogs went to Utica to begin the season. Bulldogs taking a pair of wins there and 2 very tightly contested games there.
Close games, Tommy, right at the beginning of the season. Nothing like jumping into the deep end of the pool right off the hop.
Yeah. They currently sit tied for 3rd in the UCHC. Elmira, Manhattanville. Both off to the 1-2 start there, and we'll get into some other one. 4 different teams from 4 different conferences here. Now here's Gravelli, backhanded shot through. Baguetta steered that one aside. Now it comes in. He'll snap that one with the glove and hang on. But it's Elmira and Manhattanville 1-2, and then Utica is tied with Wilkes, Lebanon Valley, Nazareth, Stevenson, and Utica. Newman, a former national champ from a couple of years ago, and two newer programs in Chatham and Kings make up the UCHC, and a lot of teams in, let's see here, Pennsylvania, Western and Central New York. Off the jaw, controlled by Utica. They'll clear it out. St. Thomas will get it. Latimer will send it back in deep. Baguetta steers it off to the near corner, and Utica a little pinball with it here to try to get it out. St. Thomas crashes the boards on the near side to come away with it. It is Zwiener, Spencer Zwiener, trying to come up with it. Can't get it. St. Thomas chips it, St. Thomas rides it off to the far side. Utica able to get it and clears it around. Big hit in the far corner as given a rough ride there with Sean Lynch for the Pioneers, back to his feet. Another big hit in the near side. St. Thomas will bring it in. Christensen, pass bounces away from him, and it's Daniel Fritz in there to steer it away from him. Near side, Dill, the goal scorer, flips it back to the middle. Far side, Olmshed will get there. Olmshank tried to send it deep, but it ricocheted, came back, and Utica sends it into the St. Thomas end. Coming up on midway through this first period, it's 1-0 Utica here from Willett Arena. St. Thomas back of their own defensive zone. Olmshank cross ice to Bender, who he'll send it deep, but nobody there for St. Thomas. Now they'll get it out high, send it back in. That careens off a stick and into the far corner. Half wall on the far side, and Utica clears it out. Boy, they got some speed coming, but St. Thomas able to send it right back in. Greg Burmaster will send it deep now for Utica. They'll set it up. They'll flip it right through. Walking right through the middle was Dill, and he had the stick loaded, but a good back check there by St. Thomas forces the puck to the near corner. Goes far side. St. Thomas will chip it out. Trying to get some speed on the far side is John Peterson. Peterson cross ice to Radatic. Radatic on the near side looks to center it. Hit a defenseman stick in front. That is Justin Allen, and he'll clear it aside. Here's Allen skating out now to center ice to the red line. He'll send it deep. Utica will change off here. Quick moving first period. 9:55 to go here in period one. Utica with a 1-0 lead. Algren feeds it ahead. Kavanaugh ends up. Collision on the far side. Young with it now for Utica. Sends it up to the neutral zone. Intercepted by St. Thomas. Far side it goes. Tried to get it through to Stufko. Royden Stufko. Original icing call is waved off here as Utica clears it out. Now it comes back. Fromberger on the near side. Cross ice back to the middle to Algren. Kavanaugh intercepts, and back the other way comes Utica. Eric Holland with it. Comes across. Little hesitation move. And we get a whistle and it offsides with 9:27 to go here in period one. Of course, St. Thomas from the Minnesota Intercollegiate Athletic Conference currently sitting in fourth place. 1-0-1. Augsburg, St. John's, Hamlin, Concordia, Minnesota, St. Thomas, and St. Olaf. Gustavus, Bethel, and St. Mary's is the current standings there, as really the Western Conference schedules begin to pick up here starting next week for both the WIAC and the MIAC back into it. NCHA, of course, out here in the West as well. Got some other scores we'll update you on throughout the afternoon as well. A couple of other Eastern teams in Wisconsin as well, as Utica carries it in, far corner. Now they bring it back to the point, far side. Cross ice pass to McManus. Fires a shot through, redirected, nice shot, hit a body, then went to a backhander. That's swept wide. Behind the net they'll play it. Reaching in for Utica is Jared Fitzpatrick. He'll center it out. Shot from the near side, hit a body through, and St. Thomas clears it out. What is it? Newman and Stevenson are traveling, playing St. Norbert over in Green Bay, and Lawrence and Appleton, right?
Yes. Yep.
All right, it is Warfield coming back through.
And I think you would agree, Tommy, it's so good to get these east-west crossovers.
So hard to do with budget these days, and backhanded shot in. Rokel makes the save, and you know, I know Stevens Point, a long tradition back in the day.
Yes. Yep.
RIT, Mercyhurst would do some home and homes with them before they both went Division I. I know the Pointers, Middlebury, Williams, I believe, and Amherst out there as well have made some of those trips in years past, but of course now jumped off. Fitzpatrick with it, clears it out. Of course, the popular destination for the Pointers of recent years has been Lake Placid or Lewiston, Maine. Now backhanded shot in. Rokel makes a save. Cleared off into the near corner. Trapp gets it for St. Thomas. Gravelli ahead to Christensen. Not much room for this top line so far. Now they'll get it in front. Gravelli pulled it just wide. Baguetta might have gotten a piece of it with the shoulder. St. Thomas brings it back. Fromberger ahead. Christensen tips it in. Gravelli will get to it. Baguetta out to poke it away from him, and it'll go into the near corner. St. Thomas with a half change here as Dill back the other way. For Utica, Tyler Dill, the goal scorer, to get them up 1-0 here. Panvica will get it and send it deep. As we are under 7.5 minutes to go in the first period, it is a 1-0 lead for the Utica College Pioneers. Now far corner, it's fed. Now centering pass comes back through. That's intercepted by St. Thomas, and I think the Tommies looking for a hooking call there. Nothing there. Just looking around the stands here. A couple of Utica sweatshirts on the far side. As folks may have made it this way. And here is St. Thomas in the neutral zone far side. We are told this is the furthest game that Utica has ever played.
West, yeah, in the West region.
Or furthest game period from their home rink at the Aud. Some 956 miles if you're scoring at home. St. Thomas dumps it in, no shot though. It's been pretty much one and done here for St. Thomas, Sean. Not much going.
They haven't been able to get their cycle game
now
going.
Here's Willocks. They may get a 3-on-2 here. Willocks onto the right wing. Centers it back. Radatic near side, right through the circle. Shot. Baguetta with a save. Rebound shot. Oh, and a goal. Rebound came right to him. It's Luke Radatic, I believe, on the far side, the freshman. After Baguetta made a save, gave up a big rebound and slid it past him. We were tied at 1.
Yep, no chance for Baguetta. Tommy gave up the big rebound. Nice job by Radatic to follow his shot in. He was able to get right to the rebound, first one there, and slam it home along the ice. I believe it beat Baguetta 5-hole, and we're tied at 1 here in the first period.
Big golf pay-per-view is all square if you're interested, Sean.
I am very.
Of course, Tiger Woods, Phil Mickelson, we're referring to. Off the far side, boy, what a great sports weekend, not only here, but college football rivalry games. Badger basketball team fell to Virginia right before we walked in here, of course, coached by the former Stevens Point native Tony Bennett. Near side, sent deep. Baguetta behind the net to steer it up far side and gathered in there by Devin Warfield. Into the neutral zone it goes, sent right back in. 5:50 to go here in the first period. Baguetta, was looking to come up the far boards, but kind of whiffed on it. Now gets it ahead. Warfield will play it. He'll get it out to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick sends it deep to the far corner. He'll dump it. Nothing there. Around off the far wall, straight off a stick, and a bouncing off a skate too. Christensen now might have a 2-on-1 if he hustles. He'll come. Christensen firing a shot. That's deflected on the way through. Braden Stufko set up in front of the net. Couldn't get a rebound. Panvica with a shot. That's smothered off to the near side. Panvica to the rebound in the near corner. Throws it back out high. Bouncing puck. Handcuffs Jensch and bounces over his stick. He'll throw it back here to Gravelli. And St. Thomas back the other way. Gravelli cuts to the right wing. Trying to get some room to move. Weaves around. Goes. Far side. Tried to throw a backhander out in front, but a bouncing puck went wide. Fromberger coming. Christensen wide of the net in the near corner. Up the wall on the far side. St. Thomas jams it, but couldn't hold the zone. Fromberger will get to it. Hustles to the red line. He'll send it deep into the far corner. 4:50 to go in the first period. Big hit on the far side by St. Thomas to free it up. Bouncing puck comes through. Couldn't pick it up. Back the other way is Eric Holland. Holland chips it deep here. Circles it right back in. And back behind the net, Rocco holds it off. All right. Far side, St. Thomas on the breakout here. Red line, fed back to the middle, intercepted by Lynch of the Pioneers. He'll send it deep, and it's Tucker Bender back to get it. Bender up ahead, and St. Thomas will get it. Speed through the middle comes Trapp. He'll feed it back to the far side. Nice little give and go here. Go to the backhand here. Shot redirected. Rebound straight up in the air. St. Thomas with a back check to keep the pressure on. Cullen Willocks to the far boards. Willocks tried to bang it free. Now they'll come in. Trapp coming, firing a shot through traffic. Baguetta with a save. Rebound is there, but turned aside, and I believe the net off its moorings. 4:02 to go here in the first. We're tied at 1.
And Tommy, honestly, this is the first good sustained pressure by St. Thomas here in the first period. They're able to string together 3 or 4 good shots. Nice job by Utica to get some traffic in front. Good goaltending by Baguetta.
Shots even at 6 apiece here. So Luke Radatic from Cullen Wilcox and John Peterson at 13:36, his 5th goal of the year for the Tommies. A shot from the point here on the near side. That does not get through. Cleared out. Lynch with it. Colton Berg will try to get possession of it. Utica now will play it back. Allen on the far side turns it over to Berg at the red line on the far side. He'll spin to Latimer near side, feeds it ahead in the left wing. Christian coming in. He'll reverse off and tries to center it, but nothing there. Now St. Thomas diving effort to center it by Berg there, but had nobody open on the far side. Far corner. Boy, a 2-point takedown on the far side there as spinning down in the play was Tyler Dill. And now he'll set up on the forecheck with a long look there. Now Utica forces another turnover here. Yazagari coming in, firing his shot, gets it to Dill with a good shot, but Rollcool with a good save there and hangs on.
Nice
Yazagari with a nice job. He's the one who, I believe, at the blue line kept the puck in for Utica and made the play to get it to Dill in the first goal.
Yeah, absolutely. Another good play by those two players, Tommy. Nice shot by Dill. Real good save by Rollcool as well.
3:09 to go in the first period. Utica and St. Thomas tied at 1. All right, coming back, far side, Fitzgerald, I believe this is, or excuse me, Devin Warfield, coming in, firing a shot. That was a headhunter that caught the glass. Borsoi waiting at the blue line on the near side. Puck never got to him as the Pioneers send it deep into the near corner. Now it's Fitzpatrick cutting it off on the near side as he and Algren get up in each other's grill, and puck comes out. Utica controls it. Borsoi near side, firing a shot. Good shot block there by St. Thomas. They'll look to go in transition. They'll zip ahead a pass for Tanner Barnes. That goes too far. Now Utica with it. Borsoi sends it in, and it is St. Thomas. Long outlet pass ahead. That is picked up by Greg Burmaster of the Pioneers on the far side, but Barnes able to dig it free from him and lift a backhander into the near corner. St. Thomas was changing all 5 here. Long outlet pass is chipped by the Pioneers. Far corner it goes. And around up the near side. Rutkowski with it. Now back the other way, Gravelli. Here's a 2-on-1. Gravelli coming in with Panvica. Gravelli waits, comes back on the very shot and a goal. Beautiful setup. Brett Gravelli, sets up Johnny Panvica, 2:02 to go here in the first. A 2-on-1 executed. Really the best odd man rush we've seen here, and St. Thomas buries it.
Yeah, and it was a turnover at the offensive blue line for Utica. Did not do a good job of holding the line, and nice job by Gravelli just to win that battle. And then get it over to Panvica, no doubt about it, on the 2-on-1. Slam dunk up high on Begetta's glove side, and it's 2-1 St. Thomas.
That's that top line, Panvica and Gravelli, Sean, that the last year and a half, with those two guys in the lineup, Panvica a junior and Gravelli both a junior, they've really carried the mail for this team here the last couple of years. Willox with it now. Radetic back after it. St. Thomas leading 2-1. Yazagari back the other way for Utica. Circles in the near corner. Looks to send it out high. He does. Allen looks to come in. Yazagari with it. Taking off his stick. This might be another odd man rush. 3-on-2 coming here for St. Thomas. Peterson near side. Comes across. Looks to center. Now holds it off. Now zips it through. An alert stick, though, by Dill on the way through. Tyler Dill deflected it up into the netting. We'll get a whistle. 1:27 to go here in the first period. St. Thomas leading Utica 2-1.
And Tommy, it will be Panvica getting the goal. That will be his first goal of the season, Tom. And he got the assist by Gravelli at 17:58 of the first period to take the lead for the Tommies.
All right, face off to the right side of Gianluca Begetta. All right, face off to the right side of Begetta. And Trapp hammers it off the near boards for Gravelli behind the net. He'll try to win a foot race to the far corner. Comes out to the point, shot through traffic, hit a defender right in front. Rebound left there, but Utica clears it out nicely. Gerson with it, sends it back in around Fitzgerald, giving chase into the far corner. St. Thomas digs it away. Christensen pulls it out of midair. He's thumped into the near boards. And a minute to go here in the opening 20 minutes. Gravelli, who set up Panvica on the goal that has St. Thomas to a 2-1 lead. Now Gravelli, another turnover forced. Out high it comes. Far side, long shot through traffic. That hit a body. Rebound is loose, and it's Gravelli. St. Thomas working hard to try to get another one here, Sean. Trapp holds it in. He'll reverse it back to the near corner. Christensen now off to the far side. Gravelli reaching for it. Couldn't come up with it. Now Utica, with 35 to go in the period, will float it deep into the near corner. That line was out of gas there as hammering in there Burmaster trying to free it up. St. Thomas in. Radatic on the near side. Couldn't get it to him. Near side it goes. 15 seconds remaining here in the first period. Not a bad period, huh?
No, very good. Up and down. Utica's just holding on here, Tommy.
Yep. Yeah, there's Willocks with it now. And St. Thomas, long shot fired in. That went wide. Fromberger might get one more whack at it. Ooh, redirected by Radatic on net. They get it with a pad save into the near corner. It comes, and that will do it. 20 minutes in the books here from KB Willett Arena. The Pioneers, Sean, got on the board early, but back-to-back goals here by St. Thomas gives them the 2-1 lead after one.
St. Thomas did a nice job in that second half of the first period to take the game to the Pioneers there, and pretty much controlled that last 10 minutes of the period.
That they did. Pretty good pace for both teams.
Oh,
and,
absolutely.
Good start to this holiday tournament. Want to remind you, coming up, Game 2, Nichols and Stevens Point. Our pregame coverage will begin at 7 Central Time of that game, with a face-off at 7:30. But here, after 20 minutes, St. Thomas leading Utica 2-1. We'll be back in just a little bit with a recap. We'll get you an update on some scores as well, as St. Thomas leading Utica 2-1 in the semifinals of the Pointer Thanksgiving Classic presented by Ascension. We'll be back with more in just a little bit. All right, back here at KB Willett Arena, getting set for the second period, Utica and St. Thomas in this semi-final matchup. As, you know, Sean, Utica came out, got the lead, but St. Thomas, I thought, just kind of stuck to their guns and a little more system structure to grind out a 2-1 lead here. After 20 minutes, Utica got on the board at 7:05 of the first. Tyler Dill from Nick Yazagari, 7:05 mark. St. Thomas responded back. Utica had an early power play, Sean.
Yes, they did. Yep.
Able to score then, but 13:36, Luke Raditic from Cullen Willocks and John Peterson. And then at 17:58 on an odd man rush, Brett Gravelli set up Johnny Panvica at 17:58. 2-1 St. Thomas through 20 minutes. The shots even at 7 apiece in that period. Utica the only power play. St. Thomas winning, 12 faceoffs to 9 there, each team with 3 blocked shots. So pretty even up. Though you could say the biggest turnover Utica had ended up in the back of their net. And is the difference here.
And it was a bad one. At the offensive blue line, Gravelli just made a better effort at the puck. And off to the races, St. Thomas went on that 2-on-1 where Panvica made no doubt about it with his 5th of the season.
Other tournaments we're keeping an eye on, the PrimeLink Great Northern Shootout in Northfield, Vermont. Middlebury in the second period, a 1-0 lead over Plattsburgh State. Adrian will take on Norwich in the second game of that double dip. But here it's Utica and St. Thomas, and we are set for period number 2. Off the face-off, controlled by St. Thomas. Panvica to Gravelli. He'll throw it out to the left wing. Peterson, a little slow to the job, but now catches up with it. Let's try to see if one of these two teams tries to dial up the speedometer here. Now turnover force, penalty call coming up here against Utica. Gravelli will spin it off in the near corner. Rockel comes off for an extra attacker. St. Thomas with it. Peterson coming right up the middle, bouncing puck, trying to throw it in front. Now they go to the side of the net. Panvica in the far corner. He gets hammered. Utica will touch it up, and Sean, a 2-1 lead here. St. Thomas will take a crack at their first power play of the afternoon.
Absolutely. In St. Thomas power play numbers, they've scored 2 power play goals on the season on 21 chances, 9.5%. That's 7th in the MIAC, 72nd overall in the country. The penalty kill numbers for Utica, 26 of 31, 83.9%. 3rd best in the UCHC and 35th overall in the country on the PK for the Pioneers.
Utica coming in averaging 3.7 goals against, 2.5, or I should say scoring 3.7, giving up 2.57. St. Thomas, 3 goals a game, 2.67. So pretty even up here. So it is St. Thomas to the power play with the 2-1 lead. Peterson waits for it. Peterson coming, dishes near side to Raditic. He'll come out high. Fromberger feeds it off. There's a shot fired through and a goal. Oh, St. Thomas, this is going to be John Peterson from the top of the far face-off circle. Labeled one into the upper right corner. I'm not sure if that hit a body on the way through and ended up high. Power play goal for St. Thomas, 45 seconds into the second period. It's 3-1 Tommy.
Now, that's not the start of a period that Utica's looking for, Tommy. Give up a penalty in the first minute, and St. Thomas makes no doubt about it, scoring within the first couple seconds of that power play. Nice work on the setup and getting a face-off win by the Tommies, and it's 3-1 St. Thomas.
Power play goal for the Tommies. And they lead this semifinal matchup by a score of 3-1. Peterson from Jack Christensen at 45 seconds, I believe, is what's going down in the books. St. Thomas now another steal coming in. They'll look to feed it on the far side. Barnes feeds it on the far wall to Jake Algren. Coming out now, cross-ice pass Olmshank. St. Thomas dumps it in near side. They'll set it up again. Now they come back through to the middle to Stufko out of his reach. Boyden Stufko coming in. Burmaster fires it wide. Up on the far side, bouncing around up on the top of the net, and Andrew Rockel just smothering that one to hang on. 18:34 to go here in the second period. It is 3-1 St. Thomas.
Yep, Tommy Peterson will collect his second goal of the season on the power play at 45 seconds. Christensen gets the assist to give the Tommies the 2-goal lead here at Willett Arena.
Face off to the right side of Andrew Rolcole. And St. Thomas to the point. Rutkowski couldn't hold it in. Thought he did, but Tyler Gregory, the linesman, says no. See Tyler's family here on the far side here. Stevens Point native, working the lines, lives in Madison now. It would have to mean that if these guys work the early game today, you would think they would get the late game tomorrow.
Yep.
Depending on tournament scheduling, of course. Not sure what other games there are picking up tomorrow. Not a whole lot. So now here's Utica with a shot kicked aside by Rolcole. Rebound into the far corner. Utica cross ice. Allen feeds it right back. Rutkowski, long shot. Ooh, that was redirected in front. I think it hit off one of the St. Thomas players and went wide. Panvica brings it back to the near side. Panvica wheels it in front. Gravelli, by dumb luck, had a stick on the ice and it redirected right on net, and Begetta had to steer that one aside. Now right down low, Gravelli, too hot for him to handle. He'll drag it to the near corner. Looks to center, nothing there. Here's Utica out. Near side, back the other way comes Everson. Everson swept wide, now goes to the far side. Fromberger reaching for it. Fromberger will hold it up, and St. Thomas will crash in defensively. Off the wall in the near side, McManus holds it in, but right to Gravelli. Panvica is looking to pull the trigger, isn't he? Every time. Christensen off it. St. Thomas will go after it behind their own net. 3-1 St. Thomas, 17:25 to go here in period 2. First of 2 games here in this Thanksgiving tournament. Now for Utica, Eric Holland trying to dig it free, a defender on his back, and Jench will come pounding in there to try to free it up. Josh Haskin in there for Utica to try to dig it free as well. Haskin up the wall in the near side, sent back deep. Vaden McManus sends it around. St. Thomas off the far wall, clears it out. Here's Young, and I'll tell you what, Utica getting a little loose with the puck here. Now St. Thomas across the red line will dump it in. McManus after it. All kinds of changing right down here in front of us. Long change for these two teams here in the second period. Young got it across the red line, sends it in. St. Thomas gets there. Connor Landergan with it, and I think up into the netting, right? Yep. Wheeling around. They're going to let change, so 16:41 to go here in period 2.
You'd expect Utica to push the issue a little bit here, trying to get themselves back in this hockey game. A little loose on the defensive end for the Pioneers right now. Almost turned the puck over right in front of St. Thomas's number 1 line.
Some of those later games, 9th-ranked Eau Claire is at Finlandia. St. Norbert hosting Stevenson. Lawrence holding Newman. They will flip-flop tomorrow with those teams. Concordia, Wisconsin playing St. John's. 14th-ranked Marion playing Bethel, and St. Mary's taking on Lake Forest. Amongst the other teams with the Western influence here. All right, here's St. Thomas through the neutral zone. They're way off sides, but no call made. Payne on the far side will overskate the puck originally. Utica will get it. They'll dig it out. Up off the far wall, Latimer gets it and sends it back deep. Now they're off sides. They'll touch up, send it back in. Boy, you can tell St. Thomas trying to set up the forecheck here. Christensen behind the net, nothing there. Utica will come out. They'll feed it through here on the near side. He has a Gary through the neutral zone, near corner. Derek Olmshank sends it deep. St. Thomas clears it out. Now a long shot in by Utica, and they were off sides in the play, but a blocker save made by Rolcole anyway. Near side Payne overskated it. Hunter with a shot. Boy, I don't think Rolcole saw it, Sean, until the last minute, and blockered it away. Near side it comes. Here's Christian with it in, and they'll fall down, and we will get a whistle. 15:40 to go here in the second period. Still a 2-goal lead here for the St. Thomas Tommies by a score of 3-1.
Nothing really going for Utica offensively, Tommy. Really haven't been able to see their forecheck and get going. What we've seen on tape and what we've talked about so far from them is they, again, want to get up on the rush. Play a lot like St. Norbert, Tommy. 3 guys across the blue line and try to get the speed of this game going. St. Thomas has done a great job in the neutral zone to take that away.
All right, through the neutral zone it goes. St. Thomas gaining possession of the puck. John Peterson. He'll circle it back ahead. Glove down by Warfield. He'll fight his way. He'll flip it deep to the far corner. Coming up on 5 minutes into the second period, St. Thomas has extended a 2-1 lead after 1 to 3-1 with a power play goal here in the first minute. Bender across the blue line through the middle, gets around a defender, fires a shot. Redirect was there, but unable to get a stick on it. Now Utica will get it, and they'll force it back the other way. Devin Warfield sends it in. Swatted out there by St. Thomas as they will clip it back, and for whatever reason, Peterson opted not to play the puck. Utica with a long shot in, and he will hold it. 14:45 to go here. Well, Sean, we talked about this probably as far as quality, the best men's offering of the holiday season, only to be outdone on the women's side.
Okay.
The Panther Cardinal Classic in Middlebury. Number 1 Elmira, number 2 Plattsburgh State, number 4 Middlebury, and number 6 Adrian on the women's side.
You'll take that every day, won't you?
Wow. So 4 of the 6 top-ranked teams in the country getting after it. That's tomorrow, Sunday. All right, face-off. McManus with a shot. Rokel with a save. Had a cutter in front of the net there. Eric Holland, another shot fired wide. Pretty much everything from the perimeter here for Utica so far. Up the wall on the near side. Kavanaugh feeds it far side. A rolling puck. And Zach Boursoy unable to hold it in at the blue line. Whistle and an offsides. 14:27 to go here in the first period.
That everything perimeter for the Pioneers, Tommy. Got to get some traffic in front. Roku's going to save those pucks he sees from distance, especially with nothing in front of him. A nice job again. St. Thomas has done a very good job of boxing off the Pioneers on those long shot opportunities.
All right, McManus flips it around. And St. Thomas with it. Far side with possession, and they'll skate it back in. Jensch in the near corner. So looks to set up the breakout. Long pass up ahead, out of the reach of Fromberger, and that will go down the length of the ice. Sean, of course, Utica and the UCHC, they get an automatic bid this year.
Yep.
There was the shuffling of the deck of sorts of a couple of years ago. Of course, the Pointers part of that in the West here in the WIAC without the automatic bid, and Utica now part of that UCHC with 10 teams in it, so they're up over the minimum, and their conference champion from the postseason tournament will get an automatic bid this year. So that means Stevens Point goes into the Pool A. No more Pool B bid. Now Barnes flips it far side for St. Thomas. Shot fired, deflected. Where'd it go? Comes right back to the St. Thomas defender. Spinning shot loose between the circles. Stufko trying to get a stick on it, but couldn't. Boy, that was deflected. Jake Algren had the original shot, came right back to him. Somebody lost a stick out here, and
that shot came out of nowhere.
Shot out of nowhere from long range that Rokel had to turn aside, and now Panvica will get it for St. Thomas. Had his pocket picked, and here comes, and oh boy, misdirection and an offsides here is Utica. 13:18 to go, whistled for the offsides.
Another offsides by Utica. They just can't get anything going speed-wise through the neutral zone. We saw that a couple weeks ago when St. Thomas and the Pointers locked up in a non-conference game.
Shots 4-1 St. Thomas here in the second period, so 12-8 overall. This has been we like to say, we call it the defensive. This has been more of a possession grinder so far. He has a Gary after it, near side for Utica. Allen looks to flip it deep. Behind the net it goes. St. Thomas, and the net is knocked loose, so we'll get a whistle there.
It's like Dill just ran into the net top. He took himself out, knocked the puck off, knocked the goal off its pegs. So we'll get a.
So we mentioned earlier, Sean, this St. Thomas, Nichols, which will play UW Stevens Point tonight. Parker Burgess, the coach at Nichols, used to be an assistant at St. Thomas, and actually the Bison beat St. Thomas 1-0 in the semifinals of the Boston Landing Invitational over the holidays last year. I believe that played at the Boston Bruins practice rink in Boston. And then they beat, I want to say UMass Boston in the championship game. So, Nichols, high flying coming in. First NCAA win a year ago as well. And I believe their 4th appearance overall. All right, Rokel will play it back behind his own net. Now St. Thomas flips it. This is long, and this will be an icing call as Well, whatever flow we had, Sean, the plug has been pulled on that so far.
I was going to say this. Ever since the power play goal, it's been a lot of stop and start hockey. Both teams still trying to work themselves out.
Well, St. Thomas, Sean, gets the power play goal as most notably an area of struggle for them.
That's a big power play goal for the Tommies.
Yeah. Off the face-off, Utica will control. It is Jared Fitzpatrick sending it deep. No penalty call here, and you can hear it from the Utica bench. Redirected, big rebound left out there, thrown in front of the net, jammed off by St. Thomas to the far corner as now we get a whistle and the net is off.
That's the best chance.
Look at the Utica bench here so far.
That's the best chance Utica's had, Tommy. Nice redirection by I think it was Warfield in deep right next to Rokuhl, and the puck just went wide.
But these benches have been fairly quiet here. Prematurely dropped the face-off here, so 12:09 to go. 3-1 is the St. Thomas lead as they dig in to take a face-off to the left side of their goaltender, Andrew Rokuhl. Shot right off the draw, smothered, goes to the far corner. Little 2-on-1 game that St. Thomas wins, and they'll chip it out. Here's Panvica through center ice with some speed, flips it to the far side into Gravelli. Panvica went right back to the front of the net, but Utica broke it up nicely on the far side. Now it's Brandon Young skating it ahead. Young coming to Warfield. He'll carry it. Now he wings a pass too strong. Boursoy will get it at center ice and feed it to the far side. Utica, Vaden McManus will chip it in. Behind the net it goes, and nothing so far. St. Thomas pass ahead. Christian deflected into the midsection of one of the Pioneers. Now they go right to the back door, and that's fought off by Utica, and back the other way they come. Eric Holland 1-on-4. He'll shoot it in, and the goaltender Andrew Rokuhl will slide that into the glove and not produce a rebound.
Well, here in the recent minutes, Tommy, Utica's gotten a couple more shots on goal and gotten some things going. A little bit more offense from the Pioneers.
All right, face off to the left side. And jostle things around a bit once again. All right, now they'll finally, Willocks in there. If I remember correctly, it was Cullen Willocks. Willocks, a couple of weeks ago here, a burr under his saddle in the third period on a couple of occasions, and that was a whale of a hockey game. Is now up and out of play it goes. Get a whistle and a face-off back in the end. 11:05 to go here in the second. Well, Sean, Thanksgiving weekend, kind of never know. Well, probably a couple hundred here for this one.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully get a little bit more as the Pointer game nears closer.
Nice to welcome the voice of the Utica Pioneers, Ray Biggs, here. Also does some work for D3Hockey.com. Far side, Fromberger with a submarining hit to free it up. Willocks on the near side. Looks to center it back out. Here's Willocks. Feeds it ahead. In transition comes St. Thomas, broken up by Utica. Raditic will get it and send it in. Near side, Everson. Looks to center. Nobody saw it there. Now Peterson will get it. Peterson feeds it back to the near side. Big center ice collision there. Willocks will carry it in. Sneaky shot in. Begetta makes the save. Rebound rolling in. He tried to reach out with the glove and cover it up. Nothing there. Still in the butterfly. Now back to his feet. It is Everson that'll get possession of it and clear it out. Lynch quickly ahead. I believe it's Burmaster. Greg Burmaster sends it the link to the ice, but they will say contact through, so no icing, and St. Thomas glides it ahead. Stufko, far side, little dance move to try to get free. Now chips it deep to the far corner. Centering pass through, that's broken up by Utica. Zach Boursoy with it, will skate it to the near side. Olmshank with it, right into the stick of one of the Pioneers. Poke free, here comes a 2-on-1, but Yazagiri runs into his own man, Tyler Dill, excuse me. Yeah, that's the afternoon in a nutshell for the Pioneers, huh?
I was just going to say that.
Hunter to the far corner, swings it around. Utica trying to break the zone here. St. Thomas on the forecheck, couldn't come away with it. Now some speed on the near side. Tyler Dill up ahead. Looked to backhand it in, nothing there. Alex Trapp for St. Thomas clears it around, back through to the near side. Tucker Bender trying to fight his way, threw an elbow that goes undetected. I'll tell you, the officials here pretty much swallowed the whistle for this one. And lead pass up ahead. Here's Barnes with a nice forecheck to free it up. Algren coming, feeds it near side to Berg, just out of his reach. Boy, now it's Berg dancing through defenders. He'll go behind the net and try to chase it loose. Now picked a pocket right to the side of the net, and it comes to Daniel Fritz of the Pioneers. Fritz ahead to Yazagari. Back the other way, St. Thomas. Here's Christian right up the middle to Payne, back through. Maybe one pass too many there, and it's intercepted by Jared Fitzpatrick of Utica. Fitzpatrick left wing carries it in. He's given a rough ride by Trapp. Lost possession of the puck, and then another hit on the far side, and St. Thomas just reaching for it. Payne almost comes with it. He'll go to a foot race with McManus in the near corner. Berg will get to it on the far side. He'll set it up top of the far face-off circle. Shot! Ooh, Baguetta with a save. And left a rebound there, but nobody from St. Thomas could get to the net. Comes through near side. Berg waits for it. Jensch will get it at center ice and rip a cross-ice pass to Fromberger. Fromberger ahead. Gravelli with it now on the near side. Gravelli wins a battle, goes far side, and Payne with a shot, save made. Rebound there. Fromberger gets it and sends it deep to the far corner. Fromberger to Peterson. Payne. Looks like they're double shifting Gravelli here now as he's up there with this line. And here's Landrigan back the other way. He'll charge through 2-on-1. Landrigan coming, rips a shot high and missed the net. Comes right in front of the Utica bench. St. Thomas, long outlet pass on a breakaway. Gravelli coming in alone. Backhanded shot. Baguetta with a big save. Boy, Baguetta keeping Utica in this one. Now back the other way. Everson tried to get free, and then he's leveled on the far side. We're going to get a whistle and a penalty call. Boy, that a tough break here. Elijah Latimer, Sean, hustling back, and a hit to separate the puck. And Utica, Sean, will head to the power play. 7:46 to go here in period 2, trailing by a pair.
It's going to be an interference call, Tommy, for St. Thomas. So they'll get the second power play of the night, and we finally get a little wide open hockey. Yeah. Couple good passes by both teams. Note that save by Baguetta, Tommy, on the breakaway for Gravelli. Stoned him hard.
Shots now 13-11, Utica. So that means, 6-4 here in favor of the Pioneers. All right, Utica on their second power play of the night. Tripping is the call against Elijah Latimer of the Tommies. Utica holds it in far side. They'll hammer it back to the near side, and too hot to handle, and it rolls into the near corner. St. Thomas with now a laser beam off the glass and down the length of the ice. That was almost the patented press box bailout there, Sean. That baby was labeled. All right, here's Utica back through center ice. Eric Holland. Holland cutting his way through, leaves it back out high to Rutkowski. Rutkowski now behind the net. St. Thomas, nice possession off the far boards and down the length of the ice. Minute 12 to go here on the Utica power play. Flip it back. Near corner. Utica. Taking their time here, but now they leave it back again. Landrigan comes back to get it, and there is nothing doing. St. Thomas is lined up across the red line here, Sean, and now it finally redirects to Dill. He'll chip it in on the near side. Everson coming in. He's forced wide there by Tucker Bender of the Tommies. Utica looks to slide it out to Allen at the point on the near side. He'll survey it up, trying to weave through some traffic. Comes in down low, brings it back. Everson, nothing there. One-time shot far side. Shoulder save made by Rocole, and it is Utica. 30 seconds to go in the man advantage. Allen, far side to Burmaster. Back to Allen at the point. Allen feeds it near side to Landrigan coming in. There's a shot. That's deflected wide. Utica shots from the perimeter here on the power play. Trying to get to the net. Now they get through the middle. Evenson with a shot. That's turned aside by the goaltender Andrew Rocole for St. Thomas. Loose in the near corner. Under 10 seconds to go on the Utica power play. St. Thomas will get it. And boy, they may play their cards right. Now they'll send it out to center ice. St. Thomas back at full strength. Warfield brings it in. He'll cut across. Looks to set up a shot. Coming in low as Hill. Nifty little shot there. Rising shot that Rocole got a piece of with the glove. Out high to Allen. Allen looks to shoot. Now through traffic. Redirected. Blocker save made by Rocole. And the rebound into the near corner. Well, Sean, Utica scored right after they did not score in the power play in the first period and had some pressure there for a minute. Glove down here on the near side by Young. He's turned around, though. Here is Stufko coming in. Feeds it near side to Gravelli, and Stufko, as he was going to the front of the net, had a poke check loose, and it rolls in, and Gianluca Baguetta will just cover it up and get a whistle and a face-off here. 5:14 to go here in period 2. 3-1. Utica with the lead.
Yeah, you feel it.
St. Thomas with the lead.
Yeah, you feel Utica, Tommy, getting themselves in this game. Got a power play. Maybe use some of that momentum off that power play. Keep the offense going. Shots and goal in favor of Utica. 9-4 here in the second period.
All right, Middlebury now, Sean, leading Plattsburgh State 2-0. Northfield, Vermont, in the Prime Link. That's probably from a traditional standpoint,
the premier one.
The premier one, as it's always been those three teams who have always been pretty good. And then an invite in. Of course, Concordia, Minnesota, I believe, winning that tournament. Here's Willox coming in. Willox looks to center it. Raditic overskated the puck. Now gets it back. He'll gain possession of it. Holland working hard in the back check here to try to free it up. St. Thomas pokes it out again. Near side, it's Peterson works it through. Delayed penalty call coming up here against who? This is going to go against Utica. Yep. I believe against the Pioneers. A delayed penalty call here. 4:28 to go. Or is it an icing call?
It's a penalty. The penalty door open, Tommy, for Utica.
Let's see what we get.
A hooking call.
Hooking call.
I believe on 15, Tommy.
Yep, it is Eric Holland that will go off. So, boy, Sean, St. Thomas with a prime chance here to bust this baby open.
Yeah, absolutely, Tommy. After they weathered a bit of a storm, they're 1-for-1 on the power play. This St. Thomas, they scored within the first 30 seconds of their first opportunity. So, looking to do it again.
So, Gravelli out there with Tanner Barnes, Panvica, Latimer, and Algren. It's Gravelli near corner, Algren on the near side. Out high to Latimer, he'll feed it now. Panvica to Latimer, shot down low, and Barnes couldn't handle it. Pretty much your leadership group out here running the power play. Gravelli near side, looks to send it through some traffic. Now they'll feed it. Gravelli gets it back. Utica trying to come out and force the issue here. They get a defender down. Panvica with it. Now to Gravelli, top of the far face-off circle. Johnny Panvica shot through traffic. Pad save. Rebound is there. Gravelli bangs at it. Still loose. Trying to dig it out on the far side. Algren wins it. Back to Panvica. He'll come down low. Gravelli near face-off circle. Shot. Pad save. Jamming it back in. Baguetta. A couple of saves. And Sean, I think Baguetta here got the advantage of a whistle here from the far side.
Yep.
As he was able to keep the puck out and got a quick whistle as it was still banging around there.
That's a really quick whistle, Tommy, as it was banging around. But give Baguetta some credit, Tommy. He stayed strong against that near side post, kept his stick down along the ice, kept that out. That puck out. Good, strong, down low play by the goaltender for Utica.
All right, face off to the left side. Gianluca Baguetta, junior goaltender. Well, you think about that stretch he really battled through in the second period. Earlier in the second period to keep them going.
No, they saved a breakaway on Gravelli.
All right, minute remaining here on the St. Thomas power play. 3:30 to go in the second period. Raditic far side. Brings it across. And, boy, good hustle on the far side by Burmaster to dig it out. And St. Thomas with it now, Willox. Willox comes across. Willox looks to center. Coming back out high, St. Thomas. Christensen. Willox tried to jam it through in front. Now he'll hold it back. John Peterson with it. Feeds it near side. Raditic. He'll go far. Now it comes to Fromberger. He'll feed it far side. Back through to the middle. Boy, some awfully good puck movement here. Raditic with a shot. Fought up by Baguetta. Shoulder save there. Rebound controlled by St. Thomas. They'll get it again. Far corner. Final seconds here. 15 seconds remaining on the St. Thomas power play. Tommy's really moving the puck here, trying to get it out high. Fromberger one time. That hit a defenseman up front. They may have a 2-on-2 shorthanded with A man coming out of the box here in 3 seconds. Burmaster cycling, far side. Rutkowski, and they'll come back in. Shot save made by Rokel, and the rebound pulled back behind the net by St. Thomas, who finish a change here. 2:20 to go in the second period. It's a 3-1 lead for St. Thomas. Oh, losing the handle, Fromberger. He'll come to Payne at center ice. Flips it ahead, but behind Colton Berg on the near side. It's cleared out by Utica, and chipped in on the far side. Regan Kavanaugh in. He's rubbed off. Fromberger in there. Little Fromberger trying to center it. Utica trying to get one here in the final stages to make things interesting for period 3. Payne on the forecheck, ridden off the play. Christensen with it, turned it over. Here comes Utica back the other way in. Kavanaugh looks to center it back toward the front of the net to Jacob Gerson. Nothing there. Outside of the net it goes. Gerson, as two Tommies come in to surround him behind the net. And we haven't seen much of this at all, if anything. Now St. Thomas wins that battle, and they'll begin the break back the other way. Fromberger, cross-ice pass, Payne at the red line. Feeds it back through to the middle. Berg with a nice job to get a stick on it, and he'll drag it in on the far side. Colton Berg looks to center it. Off the near wall to Panvika. He'll set it up here. Defender fell down, now gets back up. Panvika had it taken off of his stick, but gloved it down and held it to the half wall on the near side. Trapp with it. Shot fired in. They get it with a save, and he'll hang on. 1:03 remaining here in period number 2.
Nothing really going, Tommy, at all on both ends. Will scrum behind the St. Thomas net for some offense, especially from the Pioneers, to try to get themselves back in this hockey game with just 1:03 left in the second period.
All right, face off to the left side of the Utica netminder. Here's Olmshank. Cross ice, one-time shot, hit a body in front. That is Connor Landrigan. And back the other way, big hit on the far side, freed it up as some jousting on the far side there between Everson and I believe it was Christensen for St. Thomas. St. Thomas will chip it. Gravelli reaching for it, but it goes wide to him. Everson back to get it, and he'll drag it through. Far side, now into the neutral zone come the Pioneers. Everson flips it deep to the far corner. Final 30 seconds of period number 2. St. Thomas gathers it back, sends it at center ice. And it is Liam Hunter sending it back the other way. St. Thomas holds defensively, gains possession of the puck, and now look to turn it back the other way. Off the far wall, out of the reach of Gravelli, and Utica throws it back in. St. Thomas, now Utica forces a turnover, trying to hit Holland toward the side of the net here. Hunter banging in to try to free it up. Utica will try to drag it free for a shot. That'll do it. 48 minutes in the books here from KB Willett Arena. St. Thomas, who led 2-1 after one period, get a power play goal in the first 45 seconds of the period here. John Peterson, a power play goal from Jack Christensen. 45 seconds into the period, and from there it was kind of back and forth we went without much possession.
Yeah, nothing really going either way. Nobody able to get the offensive forecheck going. Utica was able to get some more shots on the rush and kind of push the play a little bit better there in the second half of the second period, but I got to look for some more sustained offensive pressure from the Pioneers here in the third.
All right, shots on goal through 2 periods, 17-15 in favor of the Pioneers. So not much going here, and Bush on face-offs are about even. Block this, really, you could argue that Utica's biggest mistake turned into the 2-on-1
that went in the back of the net.
That went in the back of the net.
Exactly.
Outside of that, who knows. All right, we'll grab a break. We'll come back in just a little bit, get you a recap, update you on some other scores. St. Thomas leading Utica in the semifinal matchup, 3-1. We'll come back and have more from Willett Arena in just a little bit. back here at KB Willett Arena, getting set for the third period here. St. Thomas, a 2-1 lead after one, extending it with a power play goal in the first minute of period number 2, and they lead it here 3-1. Looks like it's getting late in Northfield, Vermont. Middlebury with still that 2-0 lead over Plattsburgh State out of New York. So that would be a bit of a surprise to get things up. Sean, important opening 5 minutes here for the Pioneers.
Yeah, absolutely, Tommy. They got to get some offense going, something positive going. Quite frankly, I think you hit it on the head when we were chatting after our period. Yeah, they're stuck in the mud, unable to get anything going. Their goaltender made a big save on Gravelli in the second period there, about midway through, and from there, Utica got some momentum going. They got a power play chance, outshot the Tommies 10-8 in that second period. So got to get something. I would like to see the Pioneers get some possession offense going. Everything's on the rush, one and done, and we know what more than that Rokul, that goaltender on the other side here.
He was cool as a cucumber through 40 minutes.
Yeah,
here.
He's good, and you're going to have to beat him on a rebound chance.
All right, some other scores from out east, Sean, because I'm sure we have some of the eastern clientele in with us.
Absolutely.
Tufts beats St. Anselm 3-0. Brockport over Anna Maria 5-1. So those are our games in progress. All right, set to go for the third period. Gravelli out there with Panvika and Christensen wins the opening draw and sends it in to the Pioneer end. Utica, see if they make some kind of an adjustment to get some possession on St. Thomas. So far, nope. And here's a turnover. Panvika with it, cycling back near his own end. He'll get speed. Nobody going to pick him up. He's going to come right through the middle. Feeds to the far side. Fires a shot blocked. Up in the net and out of play. And my goodness, Johnny Panvika.
Yeah, Panvika has a goal tonight, Tommy. His first of the season.
Yep.
Scored the Tommy's second game. Scored the Tommy's second goal of the game.
Right. Boy, they went through that back-to-back 2-1 losses where they didn't have much offense going at all for the Tommies. Now Jench off the face-off, slid out to him, and then comes out. Down the length of the ice it goes. Opening minute of period 3 here. St. Thomas with a 2-goal lead. Gravelli with speed comes through, kicks it down to him, looks to center to Panvika. Shot, save made by Bagetta, and the rebound into the netting and out of play. Sean, when we saw St. Thomas a couple of weeks ago, that's one thing the Pointers did very well, is keeping the speed of Panvika and Gravelli very much in check.
Yeah, they did an outstanding job of really clogging up the neutral zone, essentially doing what St. Thomas is doing to Utica, is taking that time and space, really keeping things locked up in the neutral zone, not allowing the Tommies to get going.
Centering pass right onto the stick of Nick Yazagari. Far side it goes, Raditic with it, trying to bring it in. Dragged off his stick there by Daniel Fritz. Fritz rims it around hard. And knocked down on the far side, Yazagari out. High shot whistled through Rokul. Boy, Sean, very alert to make that save there.
Yeah, it was a good save by Rokul, Tommy. Through traffic as the Pioneers had a couple forwards coming in on him, but another good glove save. Very good rebound control by the goaltender for St. Thomas.
Well, Sean, Middlebury beats Plattsburgh 3-0. So Middlebury will take on the winner of Adrian and Norwich at Norwich. Now plucked out of midair by Brandon Young, excuse me. So he will whistled for a high stick there. Faceoff will come back into the Utica end.
Need a little grit in this hockey game, don't you think, Tommy? A lot of wheeling going on out here by the Pioneers.
Yeah. All right, face off to the right side of Bagetta. Willocks after it. Raditic reaching for it, nothing there. Peterson. Up ahead is Brett Everson. He'll send it in deep, nothing there. Here's St. Thomas with it. Radetic setting up. Trap coming in. 3-on-2 developing. And pretty nice open ice check here to free it up. And back the other way comes Utica. Landrigan with it. He'll bring it in. Cuts behind Young. Comes through. Fires a shot in the goal. Oh, it hit a defender. I don't know what it hit in between. As it hit a St. Thomas defender and ricocheted 5-hole. And maybe that's the break Utica needs to get back in this. 18-14 to go. It's game on. 3-2 St. Thomas.
Yeah, on the rush, Tommy gets a bounce for Utica. I believe it went off the defenseman it went off a Bender skate, Tommy.
Yeah, Tucker Bender.
And completely fooled Rocool and beat him.
Went back 5-hole.
Yeah, 5-hole. And
he was going to cover the near post and no chance. Ricochet, there you go. So.
And that's exactly what Utica needed. On the rush too, Tommy.
Yep.
Not a lot of possession offense going for the Pioneers.
All right, off the face-off, controlled by St. Thomas as they look to enter. Stufko coming in. Algren whistles a shot. That goes wide. St. Thomas looks to send it deep. Stufko. And into the near corner, Algren with it. Jake Algren trying to center it. St. Thomas. Now a 1-goal lead here. Into the near corner it goes. Algren with a big hit to free it up. It rattles around to the far side. Gents hustling. He's able to keep it in. Sends it deep again, but right to the Pioneers who get it out back the other way. Jared Fitzpatrick ahead, and it jumps into the bench. We get a whistle. 17:34 to go here in period 2. So face-off will come back in the Utica end. Pioneers come in at 3-4 overall. So Connor Landrigan will get it, assisted by Justin Allen. At 1:46, his third of the year for the Pioneers. Latimer. Kavanaugh coming. Near side it goes. Cleared out into the neutral zone, and a little jump here on the far side by Josh Haskin. Will come in, Haskin, Kavanaugh. Their two leading scorers here have been held pretty well in check here by St. Thomas. Now, Kavanaugh, bouncing puck comes, Haskin reaching for it, and Connor Berg with a nice job, or Colton Berg, excuse me. Off the glass, does it go out of play? Yep, up and out of play. A whistle, 16:55 to go here in the third.
I expect a little jump here from the Pioneers after scoring their second goal of the night and cutting this lead down in half to 3-2. Keeps things
Utica
going.
coming a long way here, trying to climb back into this one. Of course, we know a thing or two about long travel to an Eastern tournament.
Yes, we do.
Not play well.
Penalty coming up on St. Thomas.
St. Thomas penalty interference right off the face-off, and the door cracks further open. What year was that? 2013, 12, 13, something like that?
When we went to Lewiston?
Went to Oswego.
Oswego, oh goodness, yes. God.
I'm trying to think, played Hamilton, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, Hobart. Played Hobart and then played Oswego in the consolation game.
Not close.
Things have changed a little bit since
exactly. Face off to the right side. All right, rattling it around. St. Thomas on the clear. And Jack Christensen. Tripping is the call off the face-off. So Utica heads to the power play for the third time in the afternoon. Looking to tie the game. Near side Dill gets around, looks to center, nothing there. Near side, St. Thomas will try to get possession. Instead, Burmaster out high. Feeds it far side to Allen. Allen, now to Burmaster, back far side, now to Allen. He'll cut to the far side and tee it up, and Hill trying to set up a little redirected front. And actually, I think Rocool happened to reach out with the blocker and shoulder that one into the netting and out of play.
Dill in front of Rocool looking for that screen. Nice job by him. And Rocool, just all he could do is deflect that puck with the blocker up into the netting. Offensive zone faceoff here coming for the Pioneers with 1:22 left in their third power play of the afternoon.
All right, St. Thomas looks to clear. Can't. held in. Here's Allen, a shooting angle, but opts not to take it. He'll skate up near face-off circle, trying to jam it in front. That goes wide to the near side, and he'll just skate all the way around the perimeter. Now dumps it out far side to Landrigan. He'll fire a shot in, rebound loose. It was there, but St. Thomas clearing it out. Well, you get the feeling St. Thomas kind of hanging on here. Here's Burmeister, both hands on the handlebars here. Now, one-timer is fanned on. Far side, Landrigan fakes a shot, goes behind the net. They zip it out here, and I tell you what, this is a heck of a play on the far side by Tanner Barnes of St. Thomas to not commit a penalty, get possession, and send it down. Allen into the zone through a stick check, feeds it far side. They're in around the defense, centering pass, backhander not there. Now they whiff on it, coming right in, shot fired, and up high. Head-hunting, rising shot that caught the netting in the near corner. I believe it was Landrigan who whistled that one up. 15-17 to go in the third. 26 seconds remaining in the Utica power play.
Good power play so far by the Pioneers, Tommy. Nice job of getting it set up. They had two real good opportunities. That last one just missed, finding underneath the crossbar to tie this hockey game up. And I think you're absolutely right. St. Thomas is getting caught a little bit watching the paint dry here in the early stages of this third period. Yep. Gives up a goal in the first 2 minutes and then gives up a power play. Let Utica back in this hockey game.
All right, here is Boursoy with it, firing a shot. Stufko with a block up high. Zach Boursoy. Four seniors on this Utica team, Sean. They lost a couple of dynamite All-Americans a year ago. Roman Amariato, I believe it is. Dalton Carter, both first-team All-Americans. Rutkowski fakes a shot, now dishes it cross ice to Boursoy. Skating with it on the far side, Haskin, final seconds of the Utica power play. Shot through traffic, Rutkowski holds it in at the half wall. And it is Baguetta slapping the stick to count it down. Now they'll come right to circle, shot and a goal. An absolute bomb fed up high. Tucker Bender through traffic. 14:48 to go in the third. We're tied at 3.
Hey, we got a hockey game, Tommy. As the power play is running out, a nice job by Bender, Tommy, to find Boursoy at the top of the point. Able just to shoot one right along the puck. It had right around the ice. It found some eyes and found its way through Ropool. And this game is tied up at 3.
That'll be Boursoy's second of the year.
Tommy, what a comeback
that
here.
Was an absolute bomb.
Not sure what Utica did in between periods, but they are all in here in the third period.
Yeah. Just goes to show you, Sean, how a bounce can light the fuse, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
On that second goal. All right, behind the net, St. Thomas with it. 14.5 to go in the third. Pioneers get it. Regan Cavanaugh looks to send it out high. Latimer steered him off the puck, and it is Gravelli out high to Latimer. Sends it deep again. Cavanaugh got a piece of it, and it's cleared out. Holland wheeling back the other way. He'll shove it to the far side. Pretty much going in this one all alone, and Gravelli with it. Turned it over, but got it back in the far corner. Now leaves it. St. Thomas. Boy, Sean, they look really out of sorts here in the third period here. As couple of right hooks here from Utica. They have not recovered. Now Gravelli quickly stepping out. Here's a 3-on-2. Panvica to the front of the net. They go cross ice. Christensen in. Shot! Baguetta, what a save! Goodness gracious. Gianluca Baguetta with flashing the leather. On St. Thomas, odd man rush.
That defensive breakdown by the Pioneers. 3-on-2 coming across the blue line, and a nice pass to find the wide open forward for St. Thomas. Baguetta with a great glove save on that 3-on-2.
13:53 to go in the third. We are tied at 3. St. Thomas overskates the puck on the near side and almost gives up a 3-on-1, but now they get it to Willocks, who throws it in, jumps right to the stick, far side shot block. It ended up going to John Peterson, and I think it's Boursoy who got a stick on it, up and out of play.
Yep, the big defenseman for Utica. Yep. Nice job with the stick to get that right in front of the shot and lift it up into the netting to get the stoppage.
13:39 to go here in the third. Utica scored first to see St. Thomas score 3 straight to take a 3-1 lead. Now they've answered here with 2 in the third to get us even at 3. All right, long shot in. Burmaster blocked that one for Utica. Borsoi flips it up on the far side for Peterson. Through center ice it goes. Fromberger throws it deep, and it ends up into the Utica bench. We get a whistle, 13:25 to go here in the third.
Yeah, another neutral zone face-off here, and if teams, Tommy, switch jerseys in between periods, because it's St. Thomas now looking a little lifeless, if you will, a little bit trying to find their gripping here in the third period.
All right, here is Fromberger, slides it cross ice to Gents. He'll send it in deep. Utica right in front of his own net. Pioneers 3 wide as they come across. Fitzpatrick dumps it deep to the far corner. Gents chopping at it, clears it out up the far side. Stufko will get it. He'll draw it to the half wall on the far side. Waits for a mate to come. Gets it free to Gravelli. Gravelli will cut. He'll race ahead to the left wing and bring it in. Little stutter step move, but when he did that, we'll get a whistle and an offside. 12:57 to go in the third. We'll get a face-off just outside the blue line.
So we're back to the stop-and-go hockey here, Tommy. And going back and forth, shots on goal in favor of Utica here. 6-2 in the third period.
All right, so Utica now flips it out. This should be an icing call against the Pioneers. Nope, it dies just before it gets to the end line. And here's Utica forcing a turnover. Haskin tried to chop it in front. Bad angle shot right in front out of the glove of Rocol. And back the other way comes St. Thomas. Barnes trying to wheel his way through a defender. Allen holds him strong and sends it deep. St. Thomas was changing here. Berg on the forecheck trying to poke it free. He'll slide it out high towards Gavin Payne. Nothing there. And Utica able to get it. And St. Thomas will finish their line change here. 12:10 to go in the third period. Game that St. Thomas had firmly in control is now tied at 3. Behind the net, Alex Trapp after it. Near side, Christensen. Lost the handle on it, trying to dig it out. Now he'll center it. Gave it right to Lynch. To Borsoi, ahead to Everson. Landergan heading to the front of the net. And he'll throw it right in front, redirected wide, and did that hit the post, Sean?
It hit the post and came out. I think Rocol...
Backhanded chance up the middle.
I think Rocol knocked the net off to get the stoppage, but man, a defensive breakdown by the Tommies at their blue line and gave Utica a chance on the rush, and that's right into their bread and butter offensively for the Pioneers. I thought you were actually going to say that they could change here, Tommy, so just a quick whistle by the officials.
Yeah. All right, so face off to the right side of Andrew Rocol. Chench trying to clear it up. Utica digs it free. St. Thomas digs it out. Utica bench wanted a penalty, and Zwiener on the far side around got delayed by a defenseman, and whistle and an icing call. 11:42 to go here in the third.
A late whistle there, Tommy, as St. Thomas trying to snowplow their way into the zone to get some offense going here.
All right, face off. Third period, Sean, Utica being outscored by its opponents by a count of 7-6, and St. Thomas 8-7. So both these teams struggling to finish would be a fair assessment so far. Through the neutral zone it comes. And it is Gravelli on the far side. Gravelli looks to hold up. Now looks to center. Comes through in front. Rebound. Comes to Panvica. He'll wheel a backhander off the top of the net. Is it in? Where is it? Sean, it hit off his shoulder, went on the top of the net, and did it stay out?
Tommy, did it roll into Baguetta's breezers on the back? I swear the puck was up on his shoulders, and then did it roll, or is it on top of the net?
It's on top of the net.
Okay, so he deflected it off his shoulders and then on top of the net. Oh my goodness. And that was almost a deer mistake by Baguetta.
All right, face off, controlled by Willox of St. Thomas. He sends it deep. All right, Radetic around. Brett Everson with it. Everson cross ice to Landrigan. And a shot to goal. Oh, another shot from the far side, Sean. I think it's Everson, and a shot that looked like it handcuffed Andrew Rocole. And was that deflected again?
It might have been deflected, but
4-3 Pioneers.
Rocole never really got a good beat on it. Tommy, it deflects off the top of his glove and into the back of the net. Oh. And that's 3 straight by Utica in the first 10 minutes of this third period. Goodness.
Wow.
Where did this come from the Pioneers? Their offense in the first 2 periods was there was
nothing going on, and boy, it's been compounded by a couple of St. Thomas mistakes. Brett Everson will get the goal. Landrigan now with it. Far side. And dug out here by Barnes. He'll wait for it to the red line, sends it in. Stufko after it, along with Baden McManus. Oh, St. Thomas player goes down hard. That is Jake Algren coming out, trapped, tried to glove it down. He'll sweep it back for Barnes. He couldn't get it. Gerson had his pocket picked, and here comes Stufko. Stufko coming up, feeds it back near side. Algren whistles a shot. That goes wide. Rebound held in by Trapp with some speed on the far side. Big check there on the far side. And lost the handle on the puck. Algren reaching for it, couldn't come away with it. Utica will dump it in. Gerson sends it deep. He'll go between 3 white sweaters and try to come with the puck. Trapp has no idea where it is, and it is Utica putting the pressure on here offensively. Near side, St. Thomas almost too many men on the ice, and then they flip it up and it rattles around down below us as we get a whistle. 9:35 to go here in the third.
And so the official scoring, it's Everson, his first of the season, Tommy, assisted by Lynch at 9:14 of the third period. So St. Thomas scores 3 straight, and then Utica answers back with 3 straight here in the first 10 minutes of the third period to take the 4-3 lead.
Shots are 8-2 here in the period in favor of the Pioneers. Gravelli reaching for it. Still a lot of time left here. 9:25 to go in the third. Gravelli. A penalty coming. Kavanaugh, and
it's going to be a penalty on St. Thomas.
Interference call going against, I believe it's Christensen. Jack Christensen going, and Sean, the Pioneers now an opportunity to keep things going.
Tommy, and someone just got a misconduct, Tommy.
I think both of them.
From the Tommies.
We will see. All right, so a face-off to the right side. And I believe that may have been the fair weather warning there, Sean.
Okay.
We'll see. All right, Utica back on the power play with a 1-goal lead here. They'll come in the middle. Out high, Allen feeds it near side to Burmaster. Burmaster off. Allen fakes a shot, feeds it far side. And they'll send it deep. Pioneers on the power play.
Yeah, just the warning, Tom.
Yep. So it is Justin Allen back with it for Utica. Minute and a half to go, 8:50 here in the third period. Utica with a 1-goal lead. Now it is pulled out of midair by Burmaster. Bouncing puck here. St. Thomas trying to get it back. They do. Here's Trapp hustling ahead around Allen. But Allen able to feed it ahead. Here is Greg Burmaster. Burmaster coming in, fed it. It rolls through 2 defenders. Burmaster to the far corner, then tries to sling it out high. Gravelli trying to tip it out, but good job here by Utica. Now they do. Oh boy, they had Barnes on the far side. Tanner Barnes trapped with a big hit on Burmaster here on the near side. Here's a turnover. Utica with it. Back up the middle. Tipped to free. And St. Thomas trying to come, and a hand pass here with 50 seconds to go on the St. Thomas penalty. 8:11 to go here in period 3.
And Tommy, you make that hand pass or you get leveled at the blue line, as that was almost a big collision at the offensive blue line. Nice job by Utica trying to hold the zone and keep the power play going.
All right, face-off just outside the St. Thomas blue line on the far side. Rutkowski sends it deep for the Pioneers. Around it goes, tip free there. Borsoi with it. Now here's Barnes, a chance short-handed. Has Algren coming back, feeds it to him. Algren coming in, shot. Pad save made by Baguetta. That goes wide to the near side. Barnes comes off on a change. 20 seconds remaining on the Utica power play. 7:40 to go in the third. We get a whistle and an offsides, and we'll get a face-off here. Well, Sean, Pioneers.
Give them credit, Tommy.
Yeah.
Give them lots of credit as we discussed offensively in the first two periods. Just nothing going. Weren't able to get their transition game going, was able to get a scoring on the rush, and here in the third period they've done a good job of mixing up some dump and chase with some puck possession, getting some guys across the blue line with some numbers, and have been able to tally on a couple big mistakes by the Tommies.
All right, Utica sends it deep behind the St. Thomas net. Now a turnover coming right in front. Holland, backhanded shot in front. Rocco with a save, rebound loose, and it's in. It will go as a power play goal here for Utica, Sean, as, boy, two St. Thomas defenders could not clear the puck out after Andrew Rocco made at least two saves. Power play goal. It's a 2-goal lead for St. Thomas at 5-3.
Absolutely, Tommy. Good hard work at the end of that power play for Utica, just to keep getting the puck closer and closer to the net. And finally, just a weak slap shot or a weak backhander found its way through Rocco and just across the red line or the goal line, and the Pioneers have a 2-goal lead.
All right, far side, Utica controls it. 7:15 to go. Now Peterson tried to walk it through. Regan Cavanaugh will get the power play goal from Eric Holland at 12:37 for Utica, who has possession of the puck. Near side, Jared Fitzpatrick waits for it. And now St. Thomas back the other way. Here comes Peterson. Waiting for it near side, nothing there. Utica trying to clear it out. Shot reach wide. Baguetta watches that go. St. Thomas trap on the near side. He'll send it in front of the net. Never got through, and Utica clears it out. Well, I tell you what, Utica's really simplified things in front of their own net here. And 6.5 minutes to go in the third. They got a 2-goal lead. Through the neutral zone trap. Feeds it wide, far side. Toe drag in, shot through, got through a defender, never in on Baguetta. And it's loose into the neutral zone on the near side. Algren will get it. He'll charge back the other way with Stufko. Algren coming through. Stufko far side, walks through a defender, and good D-zone pickup there by Utica, and it slides in on Gianluca Baguetta.
And Baguetta makes another save, Tommy. Let's go all the way back to the second period when Gravelli for the Tommies had a breakaway chance and a 2-goal lead that could have advanced to 3. Baguetta stoned him. Utica hung in there, and it's been all Pioneers here in the third period.
A little bit in the first couple minutes to get one and then another, and they just kept coming. And now it's been all transition here for Utica in their favor, basically.
They're playing the game at their terms right now.
All right, they'll scrum for it. Far corner in the St. Thomas end. Under 6 minutes to go in the third. Utica has erased a 2-goal deficit and turned it into a 2-goal lead. Winner of this gets either top-ranked Stevens Point or 15th ranked or 16th ranked Nichols. Now a shot shoved in front of the Utica net. And Barnes looks to feed it back, and a 3-on-2 now for Utica. Daniel Fritz, far side. They're content to just dump it in and ride some clock here. Algren stays out there, now comes to the near wall to try to dig it out. Near side, St. Thomas with it now. Here come the Tommies. Johnny Panvica, near side to Latimer. He'll carve it around. Baguetta will swipe it right to the stick in the near corner of the Tommies, Johnny Panvica. Now comes Christensen after it. Or excuse me, Christensen with it. Now behind the net for Gravelli. Toward the side of the net, Christensen. Now St. Thomas will try to dig it free. They get it to Latimer. He'll fire a shot in. That hit a defender's skate, goes wide. Panvica to the rebound, 4:45 to go. Panvica circles near side Latimer. Through a defensive screen, threw it there. Had Gravelli for the tip, but he couldn't get his stick free. hit by Panvica to try to free it up. And a whistle and an icing call with 4:33 here to go in the third period.
Man, Tommy, that's a thank you icing call, as St. Thomas will get a chance to get some fresh players on the ice, and Utica will bring their guys back on that already changed. So all go time here for the Tommies to try to get a goal and get themselves back. Looks like we're going to get a timeout called by timeout Utica, Tom.
So they will take a timeout here with a defensive zone face-off. 4:33 to go. Sean, our second game, 6-0-2 Stevens Point and 5-1 Nichols. I'm interested to see this Nichols team coming in from Massachusetts.
Absolutely, a Nichols team that won their conference, the Commonwealth Coast Conference. Yep, that's the same conference that Salve Regina plays in.
Yep.
As they won their conference tournament to get in the tournament. They won their first ever NCAA tournament game last year against Fitchburg State, and then lost to Salve Regina by a goal in the quarterfinals. Otherwise, the Pointers would have been meeting them in the national semis. So, interesting team, and they've played all conference games this year. The question is have they played anybody to Stevens Point's caliber yet this year?
They come in averaging 4.17 goals a game. That's 9th in the country. So we'll see. All right, so face-off back in the Utica end, and Nichols swept Becker last weekend, so they're riding a 2-game winning streak. They're one loss on the season to Endicott, where they split. Mostly it looks like through the Commonwealth Coast Conference, home and homes.
Yep.
A lot of those eastern schools, proximity-wise, do that quite a bit, much like the MIAC teams in Minnesota. All right, here is Utica in transition. Radatic took a whack at now up high far side as St. Thomas trying to force it out here, and they finally do. Cullen Willocks will bring it in. He feeds it ahead to Peterson. Peterson, backhanded shot. Baguetta looked like it got a piece of him, but came around. I don't know, Baguetta, one of those typical unorthodox looking goaltenders.
Looks
right?
like it, yep.
What? He made some big saves here today. Under 4 to go. St. Thomas trailing by 2. Tries to jam it in front of the net. The puck is loose. And Utica trying to get it out. They'll flip it high finally at center ice. And pulled out of midair by Connor Landrigan. And here is St. Thomas bringing it in the far side. Peterson looks to center it. Went down in the play. Oh, this is getting a little gritty out here now with a 2-goal lead. Allen swipes his way through, all kinds of speed, backs it off, looks to hold it out, now reverses back, taken out of the play by Panvica. He'll dump it behind the net, but right to one of the Pioneers. Burmaster cycles it, he'll go far corner. Burmaster coming around, all the way around the perimeter. Now looks to feed it deep again. Hill, who scored the first goal for Utica, now in the near corner, taken away by Gravelli. He'll swipe it free and try to get something going. Ahead to Algren, now Gravelli again, ridden off by a defender, and Utica sends it deep. 3 minutes to go here in the third, a 2-goal lead for the Pioneers. Here's Gravelli in, chips it up, far corner it goes. Now St. Thomas. Well, Sean, if you're St. Thomas, you got to try to get one here and then get your goaltender off to get a fifth. Is the strategy here in the final 2:35. Gravelli to Algren. He'll chip a pass ahead that's out of the reach of a defender. Vaden McManus with it for Utica back the other way. Here's Panvica to Gravelli. He'll chip it to Algren on the near side. Algren looking in front of the net. Instead comes back up. St. Thomas unable to hold the zone. We get a whistle and an offsides call. 2:22 to go here in period number 3. Well, Sean, I believe it was you said, let's see what the Pioneers have to offer here in the third period.
Yep. They've offered everything. Outshooting the Tommies here in the third period, 9-4.
All right, here is off the face-off. Alex Trapp feeds it ahead. Now, Peterson walks through. Whistle and offsides by, just a half a step. Far side. Well, it looks like all indicators are, Sean, things will... This holds up here over the final 2:16. Should be no problem with the time schedule for the late game here. Always wonder, what was it last year? The Pointers had to beat MSOE in the shootout.
Tanner Carty.
To advance.
Yep.
Off the face-off. It is St. Thomas with it. We'll keep an eye on the goaltender Roll-Cool, but Utica with the puck carries it in. Now a shot whistled through. And St. Thomas in transition ahead. On the right side, it is John Peterson in. Comes back through to the middle toward Raditic. Shot fired. Baguetta never got through. Now a turning shot. That pinball's wide to the near corner. Minute 45 to go. Roll-Cool still between the pipes. Fromberger a shot in. Right on the stick. And here's Fitzpatrick on a potential breakaway, but I think he's out of gas. He will just flip it deep to the far corner. With a minute 35 to go. Roll-Cool looking toward the St. Thomas bench. Here is the Tommies off the glass. This hit a Utica player through the zone. Oh, boy. Oh, I think he was still on this side of the red line is what they'll say. So whistle and an icing call with a minute 27 to go. And you wonder if Jeff Besser might take a timeout, and he does. Good time here, Sean, to kind of give update national ranking wise. Third week in a row, Stevens Point is the consensus #1 and picked up votes actually with the 1-1 tie against St. Norbert. So the D3Hockey.com poll: Stevens Point 1, Adrian 2, St. Norbert 3. Geneseo is 4th. Trinity of Connecticut underway finally for the NESCAC or MASCAC and all the other CACs out east that tend to wait till this time to get their season going. So Trinity is 5. Salve Regina, which is in the same conference as Nichols, the Commonwealth Coast Conference. Then it's UMass Boston, the University of New England. UW Eau Claire falls 3 notches to 9. Oswego State out of New York is 10. Babson 11th. Hobart 12th. Then it's Augsburg, Marion, and Plymouth State. Nichols, the first team outside, or ranked 16th, depending on how you'd like to look at it. College Hockey Online poll, USCHO.com, Stevens Point 1, Adrian 2, St. Norbert 3, Geneseo 4, but the Blue Goals of Eau Claire getting more love in that poll, as they are 5th in that poll. Then it's Oswego, UMass Boston, New England, Salve Regina, Trinity, Augsburg, Hobart, Babson, Marion, and Plattsburgh State out of New York. Plattsburgh already upset today by Middlebury.
It's a big one over out east.
Middlebury's been in the basement of that league for a while here. The once
unstoppable.
Middlebury
was kind of the Pointers and then
6 in a row.
Yeah, it was kind of the Pointers and then Middlebury kind of took the helm.
Of the 90s. They own the 90s. All right, St. Thomas finally gets possession of it with a minute 15. Roll-Cool looking to the bench. And they'll come Gravelli in on the near side. Here comes Roll-Cool. Gravelli coming around. Shot. Door shut by Baguetta. And here's Utica back the other way with an empty net. Willox, the extra attacker, off. Long shot fired. That's deflected by St. Thomas.
It deflected off a St. Thomas player,
St. Thomas player, and we'll get a whistle and an icing call.
How's that icing?
Jeremy Klobuchar coming over, and we'll see. With a minute to go here in Utica, with a 2-goal lead. Looks like both teams for the second game in the house. The customary sewer game has been on and off up in the far corner up here by the Pointers. Nichols down on the near side. Under a minute to go. St. Thomas with an extra attacker on. Near corner spun around. Utica ahead. Fromberger pinching out. They get it past him. Utica with a 3-on-1. Burmaster feeds it far side. Empty netter will deal it. Warfield with the empty netter. Devin Warfield. And I tell you what, Sean, it's an impressive third period here by the Pioneers, as they are going to advance to tomorrow night's championship game.
Absolutely. Give the Pioneers all the credit in the world. Not sure if they worked off their Thanksgiving turkey finally and came out with some buzz in the third period, scoring 4 straight goals or 5 straight goals. And they're going to go to the championship game of this holiday tournament here in Stevens Point. An impressive third period by Utica. No question.
All right, off the face-off, controlled by the Pioneers. And dumped in. Shots now. What do we get? A whistle and an icing call here. Utica's outshot St. Thomas here 10-4 in the period. And has erased a 2-goal deficit and turn it into a 3-goal lead. So Jeff Besser and the Tommies.
It's going to be their 3rd straight loss, Tommy.
Yep. All right, now here's Utica behind the net. They will just grind some time here with a 3-goal lead, and Gerson on the near side knocked off the play. Well, Sean, you can definitely tell which bench down below us has the lead here. Bender, far side, he will carry it in. Centering pass comes. Wiener looks to come back. Trapp feeds it back low. Utica with it again, and that's going to do it. The Utica Pioneers, a 5-goal 3rd period here to get back to 500. And well, I'll tell you what, you're going to travel more than 900 miles.
Might as well win a game, right?
You got to throw the kitchen sink at them, which they do. So I'll tell you what, the Pioneers, they look just absolutely flat through 40 minutes. And St. Thomas really got taken out of their game in the 3rd period, and Utica tallies.
And like you said, Tommy, in the 3rd period, a tip play, a bounce to kind of break things open, Tommy, in the first 2 minutes of the period, and that just kind of got them going. And then they played that 3rd period at their terms, got the transition, got the rush game going, and St. Thomas couldn't slow it down. They couldn't slow down Utica in the 3rd period in the neutral zone, and Utica jumped all over that.
All right, Utica scored first. Tyler Dill from Nick Yazagari at 7:05 of the 1st period, but St. Thomas came right back. Luke Raditic from Cullen Willocks and John Peterson at 13:36. And then Johnny Panvica from Brett Gravelli at 17:58. It was 2-1. St. Thomas. Tommies added a power play goal by John Peterson from Jack Christensen and Raditic at 45 seconds in, and that was the only scoring of the 2nd period. And Utica came out with a buzzsaw, really taking control of it through the middle portion of that period. But the big goal came a minute 46 in. Connor Landergan from Justin Allen at a minute 46, and just a bad bounce, Sean, that got past Andrew Rokohl, and then the floodgates open. Brett Everson with an absolute bomb from the point from Sean Lynch. Regan Kavanaugh, a power play goal from Eric Holland, which that was the one that was misplayed a bit, right? No, I take that back. Zach Borsoi had the bomb from the point at 5:12 from Young and Rutkowski. Everson with a goal that handcuffed Rokohl and found its way in, and then power play goal by Regan Kavanaugh and Eric Holland at 12:37. Devin Warfield, an empty net goal from Burmaster at 19:16 to close out the scoring here in a game which sees St. Thomas record even now at 3-3. Utica is even at 4-4. So let's see here. We will reset our stats quickly here that I believe we'll get to the end as we wait for it. So the shots on goal, 27-19 in favor of Utica. Power play wise, Utica, the Pioneers, 1 of 4. St. Thomas was 1 for 2. So saves here this afternoon. Gianluca Baghetta makes 16 saves here tonight. And for Andrew Rokohl of St. Thomas, he makes 21 saves here tonight for St. Thomas. So it will be St. Thomas playing in the afternoon game against the loser of Nichols and Stevens Point, while the Pioneers will take on the winner of Stevens Point and Nichols. That game tomorrow night at 7:30. Not a good way to get this tournament started off. Huh?
Absolutely, nice effort by the Pioneers to get things back to even, and then really took it to them.
Yep.
And now we'll wait the #1 ranked team in the country with the University of Wisconsin Stevens Point to take the ice here in just about an hour and a half
or so, whatever. All right, so that's going to do it from here. We're going to sign off. We'll be back. We'll get our pregame programming for Game 2 underway at 7 o'clock. The #1 ranked Stevens Point Pointers, 6-0-2, take on the Bison of Nichols, 5-1, ranked 16th in the latest D3Hockey.com poll. Pregame programming at 7 o'clock. Opening faceoff coming at 7:30. Again, your final score here, Utica with 5 in the 3rd to beat St. Thomas 6-3. Partner, we'll see you shortly.
I'll see you in a little bit, bud.
As the double dip coming up, we'll hope you'll come back and join us as the Pointers take on Nichols here from KB Willett Arena in Stevens Point.